I'll do is, okay, so we're recording as we speak, so don't say anything bad.
I can't say any jokes anymore. Darn it.
Oh, darn. So what will happen is when we're done, I will make the recording.
I'm hearing some feedback. Is it me?
I haven't been able to get the video to load. That might be the feedback on my end. I've got a little bit going on over here. I'm gonna mute mine so I can hear you guys, but you won't be able to hear me.
Okie doke.
Do you have access to the chat feature, Reggie?
It's taking a minute.
Questions, you can always message me on Teams, and I'll ask the questions for you.
Yeah, I'll shoot you a text if we got to, because it seems like my cell phone reception is okay, but my internet reception is being weird. So I'll shoot you a text if I really need something. Otherwise, I'll stay on mute and we'll talk about it afterwards. Or I'll shoot, if it really, really gets crazy, I'll shoot you an email later or something.
Okay, that works, Reggie.
All right, thank you guys for doing this.
We can always do this again, Reggie, if you get to a point where you got better internet connection or something. No big deal.
Okay, I appreciate your versatility, Fred. But yeah, we can go on ahead and I'll listen in.
Okay. Well, Sandy, I'll tell you what, I'll let you guide us. We started with the EHE plans, getting those entered in there. We got a couple of them kind of structured in there for you in subgroups and that kind of stuff. So why don't you let me know where you'd like to go with this?
Okay, so I did have one question about, and let me pull this up, about what you had sent last week.
Uh-huh.
So, looking at the document, so you know how there's the first group, so the first group, is the first group a culmination of all the jurisdictions, including the state health office?
Well, the first group, the EHE group you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, let me go down. We had done a little work on the EHE group, so I just left what was in there. So probably what's in there can be taken out because we've broken it down into the subgroups here. So that really wasn't.
I wasn't sure. That's why I wanted to get a clarification from you.
Yeah, that was previous stuff that we'd done. So what I did is went down and the EHE is a level 2 group, and then you got the level 3 groups underneath it. So that way you can either go an individual group or you can go all of them together if you want to on a report.
Okay.
I think that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Yes, that is what we're trying to accomplish. But so by clicking on I was looking at what you sent me, but now I'm looking at your screen. So what you had sent out, so the EHE, so there'll be a way to look at the progress per jurisdiction or per county and all together, correct?
Absolutely.
Will I see this when I log into VMSG? I have not logged in.
Yes, you will.
To VMSG.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then what would be, I guess I need to understand how the process Reggie and I would take to upload and see the information. How does that work?
Okay. Yeah, to start with, obviously you got to enter all the information. I went to Broward and put in parts of it here. So let me go to the plan. I'm sorry. Get the wrong button here. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go to the document up here. So this is the operational plan report for what I put in, which is basically the first part of Broward in here. This one up here under EHE was the old stuff we were just talking about that we can get rid of at some point in time. I didn't want to take it out until we had this conversation and everything. So what we started doing is putting in the service, which was for each of the counties was going to be the same, right? Diagnose, MOYR, and then we have that under Duval, Hillsborough, Miami-Dade, Orange.
We can take out MOYR. Sorry to interrupt. We can take out MOYR because wouldn't we get would it be dated as we input the information?
Yeah, the information will be recorded as to the particular date that you input it. What is MOYR? Month, year?
Month, year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what it meant.
You know what I mean? So we would receive the reports from the different counties on a monthly basis. But if we're going to input it into the system, I would assume the system would already calculate the input date.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you're going to have is we're going to input the information based on the spreadsheets, or we'll work with you to do that. Get the information like we did here, and then what'll happen is they'll just be updating the status. So what you'll need to do is just go in and generate this report, either at the individual county level or at the all the counties together level, and you'll be able to see the status of each and every one of these activities as it gets updated by the counties.
Yes, ideally that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, what we would recommend is to actually have the people at the county get user access. So have a user ID and password to go in, and they can have access. We can limit it to where they have access to just their county, and then they can go in and do the update without having to send you something and you go input it in the system. We'll train them on how to do it actually, so they can update the information very simply. Once a month they'll get an email that says update this information, and they'll walk through the activities like you see here. And for instance, Broward, whoever's at Broward will walk through these activities, put in the status, and change the traffic light if they need to, and it'll all be updated. When you go in and look at it, it'll all be updated. You don't have to go and do anything.
I will have to double check with leadership because I remember months ago, there was some conversation about access. So I need to double check to see if they prefer that only Reggie and I input the information, but while they can have view-only access. So I will need to follow up.
Okay. Well, we can limit the access, quite a lot. So they can, like, for instance, Broward could log in, and the only thing they would see was Broward and their particular information, and they could go in and, edit what you give them permission to edit, that sort of thing.
And we should be able to just see what the dashboard, and share the dashboard just
Yeah.
Show what it looks like.
What you can't because there's no data in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing you'd be able to do is, for instance, if you wanted to see Broward's overall status on everything in their plan, you could go into here, and if you go up, and it's not going to really show anything because we don't have any data in there, but you can go up to the traffic light for just Broward here, and you'll see their status. You'll see each person who's been in there assigned as an objective lead. All the information you'd want to see for Broward will be at the traffic light or at the dashboard level. So you have an individual dashboard for each of them, or a combined dashboard for all of them if you select that top level group. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So yeah, you can generate reports. You can give people specific access to, just their specific area that they need, and then you'll have a specific dashboard for each of the counties if you want it.
And if you would like to do more of a simplified report for upper management, or we can do a VMSG public and just show them the minimal. They don't have to see all the dashboard stuff. They can just see the minimal pie chart or graph for each one.
I understand.
So I'm thinking the next steps are to go in basically and copy and paste the spreadsheet information that you sent over into the plan, and I'll show you how to do that. It's really simple. If we go into Broward here, keep hitting the wrong button here. Okay, if I go back to this plan, so here's what we've got in for Broward already. We've got diagnose, and we'll just take and delete the MOIR and everything here. My fault, I didn't realize what it meant. So we have the goal in there, the objective, and then each of the activities, and the objectives were combined because what you had in the spreadsheet here was, let me go to the top. Okay, so up here we had a goal, which is great. We put that in there. The objective, though, you had multiple objectives here, which are identical, right?
It's the same. Yeah, they're identical. It should be one objective. And the ones that are the different are the strategy.
Yeah, right. So what I did is, because of the hierarchy, I combined the strategy and the objective. So if you go look at it, It is right here. So the objective is that objective part by 2021. And then I just added the strategy on the end of it because it fully then describes what the SMART objective is. So you still got the date and everything in here, and then how you're going to do that is expand routine HIV testing on targeted health settings. So that's why we have the 4 different objectives, which are really a combination of the objective and the strategy.
Okay. Also, that can't be, we can't add a separate category?
What do you mean category?
Meaning, underneath objective, we can't have a strategy?
No, because the strategies are one-on-one with the objective. You can put them in there. It's part of the objective the way it's laid out, because objectives are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. And if you put the 2 of those together, it gives you the full definition of what the objective is.
Okay.
And then
I'm just saying, just to differentiate between the 2. But I understand.
Yeah, there's not a separate level under objective unless you get to the activity level, but then you've already got activities defined.
Why couldn't she do objective 1, decrease the number of individuals, and then she underneath that she has objective 2 and separating those out? Okay.
2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but 2 being expand.
I think multiple objectives will confuse it even more.
Okay.
Yeah, it just.
But again, if it's just us looking at this, I'll understand. But if other people look at this, it'll be confusing.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing I'm trying to do is fit within the definition of the SMART objective, and in order to do that, you kind of need both pieces of information. So that's
I understand.
It's the nomenclature, right?
Right.
It might be. Might be wise to go in. Let's go back in there, for instance, and go down service, the goal, the objective, and on the objective maybe put in here.
Yes. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, and that way, I don't know if it may take out the. Hang on a second.
So since I have access, I think I want to challenge myself. Well, not now, but I do want to go. I can go back in to add that because I need to get used to. We need to get used to using this platform. If you don't mind
absolutely, and that's the best way to do it. Is actually take something that you've got, right now, and do it. Yeah.
Right.
And by the way,
I'll make note of that.
Yeah, as you're doing it and you have any questions, just pick up the phone and call me, and we'll pop open a GoToMeeting if we need to and go through it just to make sure we're on the same page as we're going through.
Okay.
But yeah, this kind of, if you add the strategy in there, then it kind of makes it match with the spreadsheet.
Okay. Now, you copied and pasted all the information in, or I could have sworn there was a way to upload.
No, because of the structure, you have to copy and paste.
Okay, but this is the only time because moving forward, we would just be updating the status, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a one-time process. Now, the other thing you can do when you're done is you can attach these spreadsheet documents to the plan as just a reference.
That's what we want to do.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Yep, that's easy.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, let me take you through that right now. So I'm at.
Can we attach multiple documents?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay,
and
so under Broward,
it'll be saved per county, or would it be like per objective?
However you want to do it.
That doesn't make any sense that I just said.
Because the document is by county, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just figured out. Yeah.
Now let me attach that document. So I'm selected Broward, the group. I'm going to go down and click on this little button right here. And then I'm going to go say, pick a document, choose a file, and we'll go to Florida HIV, and then we will do the Broward monthly report, upload that, and now the document's attached, we'll call that. And you can change this any way you want. I'm just putting it in there. So,
okay.
And probably, and you know, you can use the traffic lights as you see fit. Usually it's green, obviously, and then save that. So now this document is attached to the particular plan. You can see it right here. The one indicates that the document's attached to it. And you can do the same thing for the other plans in here. So now you've got them attached to the group, which is the county.
Perfect. Okay.
And then when you generate that, you know, after you do the updates or you get the counties to do the updates, and you know, it might be a transition process. It might be you and Reggie do them to start with, and then after you get comfortable with them, maybe bring the counties on one at a time, whoever is going to be the primary contact that you deal with, and say, hey, would you like to try this? And then set them up an account. And, you know, if you want to train them how to do it, you can do it, or we'll be happy to train them how to do it. But you'll find out over time when you have all these counties entering information, it's going to be quite a load for you guys to collect that up every month and enter it in the system. Although it's easy to enter, it's just another step versus having somebody who's providing you the information directly enter it. But, you know, completely up to you. Either way works.
No, I hear you. I just wanted to, I'm going to get clarification from leadership. But the good thing is that we would mainly be inputting all the information so that the counties would primarily be updating inputting an update on the activities.
Right, exactly. Exactly. I'm just taking out these MOYRs here.
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's just that easy, you know, you're just going in and editing and then saving it. So all those are in there. And each of the counties has that, and we can change those as well. So but I think maybe if I could recommend you starting with and then finishing out all of these on Broward. I think I got the first one all the way down to the activity level. So you got, at least for the first objective. So yeah, you got these activities. Now, also in the activities, let me show you why I broke them out. Because the activities are here, right? Expand detailing regarding routine HIV testing, et cetera. But you have 3 different performance metrics here. Number of staff hired, you're going to count, number of PCPs reached, and number of PCPs implemented. So what you want to do is track each of those numbers. If you mix them all together, it's going to be very difficult for somebody to go in and say, what am I looking at? So what I did is broke those down into A, B, and C. So that one had 3 different things. You know, expand the detailing. The first part is the same. Hang on a second. Yeah, and number of staff hired. So I kind of reworded them a little bit. So hire staff to expand detailing regarding, and then down here the performance metric is number of staff hired between the dates. And I just put in random dates. You can change those any way you want them, but that's what I put in for now. And then I made this because you're counting a number.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I know I'm taking in what you just said.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Fred, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So I've come to the I feel like VMSG has a lot of versatility, and you can do a lot of things with it. Are there any things we should be on the lookout for things that we can't do, like limitations-wise, with the system?
Things you can't do?
Yeah, is there anything that we might run into that you can think of that, might end up being a limitation with VMSG? Because so far, everything that I've heard sounds like we can do everything we need to do.
Yeah, there's nothing, and if there's something you can't do, let me know and we'll build it in there. Because our goal is to have a complete public health performance management system. And so far, you know, I don't think anybody's come up with anything that we can't do. But if you got something, let me know. We can add it.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's very, very flexible. If you think about a plan, you know, plan, do, check, and adjust. So you're going to build a plan, you're going to execute the plan, you're going to monitor the plan, and then if you need to make corrections to the plan, you do that. So that's the whole cycle, and you know, pretty much everything you do works into that planning cycle. And you'll find it's very flexible. And if you get to a point where you say, boy, I'd like to do this, pick up the phone and call me, and you and I will sit down and go over the structure of what that plan should look like and how we should enter it in the system.
Okay, I appreciate it.
My pleasure. So again, Sandy, I think the next steps would be to go through exactly the same thing that we got in here now for Broward for the first objective, go to the second objective, do the same thing, structure the activities so that they make sense to track, like number of staff hired. You're going to go down in here and put in, I hired 5 people yesterday or whatever that happens to be, or last month or whatever it is. So I put in 5, it's going to add up there and say we got a total of 5. I'm going to save that.
I'm trying to understand, why is there multiple A's, B's, and C's?
Oh, because there's 3.
And I'm logged in on Bmsg. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to. I'm logged in on Bmsg because I'm a visual, so I'm gonna try to get to where you're at. So I'm clicking on.
Here's why I broke them down into A's, B's, and C's. And you don't have to call them A's, B's, and C's. You can call them anything you want. But what I did is the activity is the same up here, right? The basic activity. But you have what you call process indicators, we call performance metrics. Same thing. Right. So one of the activity is to hire staff.
Yes.
One of them is to monitor number of PCPs reached. One of them is PCPs implementing routine HIV testing. So those are really 3 different activities. So what I didn't have any other numbering to do other than being able to say this is 1, 2, and 3, or A, B, and C. So that's why I put them in. So
wait,
this is those
back,
3.
Would it be like 1A.1 like point A? You see how it?
Yeah, this
is
would
that,
be
is that what
1A.1.A. Right.
A.
And
Okay.
Now, remembering that Bmsg does automatic numbering for you on the activities. Now you can change these, by the way. So you can have all 3 of these as 1, and then A, B, and C. Then these would be 2, A and B, and 3.
You have the ability to fully customize everything.
So I suggest that. Wait, Reggie, did you say something?
I was saying it sounds like you can just fully customize and adjust it any kind of way that you want, whether you want it to be A's, B's, or 1s and 2s.
Right. I just want to make sure it's all the same across the board. So what do you suggest so that I can make that change on the progress reports, because they all have to align with what was previously stated to the CDC. That's the reason why I'm asking.
Okay,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, these could be, like, for instance, these are actually on your spreadsheet here. This is activity 1. So it's 1A, which would be strategy 1A, and then activity 1, 2, and 3. So if you wanted to match that over here, we could go in and say, okay, this is no longer 2. This is also 1. And we'll save that. And then this is also 1. So now we're matching the activity numbers here.
Oh, okay. I'm on it. So does it always refreshing as you're doing it? I'm on because I'm logged in. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sometimes it takes a second for it to refresh. So this is also
no, it's refreshing.
2. Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes
and then,
the wild world of the internet gets in our way.
So
what I'm doing is making the activity numbers match, and then we have the A, B's, and C's to differentiate the 3 different versions, if you will.
Okay, so I'm going to add A, B, and C to the original document so that it aligns. Okay, perfect.
That would be great. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Then it aligns perfectly.
Yeah.
Sandy, I think the best thing we can do.
Yes, Reggie?
The best thing we can do is make sure that VMSG and whatever we get from the counties looks as exactly the same as possible. Just on the off chance that we do have the counties input it themselves, they're very likely to get confused anything with any kind of different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think by doing it this way, we're pretty close to exactly what they have on your spreadsheet there. If you put in, like you say, put in process indicator A, B, and C, and then it'll be 1A.1, A, B, and C. So that should match up fine.
Okay. Now, Reggie, what are your thoughts from what was previously mentioned on, like, to what Fred was saying with regards to the input? I mean, we could talk about this offline about, like, the individual counties inputting the data. I just
I
feel like
think that
there's
you can
too many
handle
hands.
it just because there's only like 6 total.
I agree. Well, 7. But yes, I think you and I can handle because we're just doing the most of this legwork because it's the first time it's in the system. But
Right,
the
right.
update really won't take much because it's just numbers.
Yeah, I'd rather put my own hands on it than let them give the chance to mess it up. When we've been training with it.
Right.
All we have to do is click a couple buttons to update it. Like, don't worry.
And that's how
I'll
we
go back
can
to what y'all are
notify.
working on.
Correct. And
Yeah, I
that's how
got it.
we'll know any changes. Okay, good. We're on the same page.
Although I
versus
do like the idea, though.
To us.
I do think that we should bring it up to leadership just because I like what Fred said about being able to make it so they can only see their stuff. So just having them be able to go in and look at it. Like for instance, with Broward, if we updated it for Broward, but they also have the option to look at it if they needed to, that'd be nice, but we'd be the main ones doing it. You get what I mean?
Yes,
so
Fred,
there's more transparency
option?
and more of us can see what's happening.
For it to be view only for the counties?
Yeah, we can do that. Yep, easily.
Okay.
Yeah, he mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, view
What
only
they'll be
for.
able to do,
Yes.
I was going to say what they'll be able to do in view only is they can go in and the only thing they'll see on here is their group. They'll see EHE Broward on here. And when they click on that, they can click on the dashboard. It'll show them the exact status of everything that they have in there. And they can then go in and do the operational plan report just for their county. So they'll be able to see the status of everything in great detail if they want to. And so, it's just a nice
they'll be able
tool.
to view only and operational. What's the operational plan? Is that just basically to download their plan?
If I go up here, so I've selected Broward, go up to the reports and select operational plan report. This is what Broward would see is just this.
Right,
now
I
I go to
remember
the
this.
activity level here and boom. So this is what they would be able to see with all the detail, status, who did what, the whole 9 yards.
Okay. Do we have to provide you with the names of the individuals who will need to have access? It'll be approximately 2 to 3 per county.
Okay. Yeah. What we'll do is I'll send you a spreadsheet format, and you can fill in the relevant information that we need to have for each person, because you got to have the name, the email address, the phone number, all the stuff we need for login, and then we can get them. And by the way, we can set up some trainings for those folks to be able to, if it's just starting out view only. Yeah, we'll walk them through. Go log in here. Here's how you get your user ID and password. Log in. When you log in here, go look at the only thing you're going to see is Broward County in this case. Go click on the report, hit operational plan report. Here's your exact status, or look at the dashboard. There's your exact status. I think they would really like that, because that way they can.
They really would. That'll lift the burden off Reggie and I, and it'll be great for like Reggie said, transparency purposes. I think that'll be a great idea.
Yeah. The other thing, like Andrea mentioned, we can generate what we call Bmsg public pages. So for the Broward group, you can say, show me this button right here says you're going to build a little web page that allows them to, you can email them the link to it, and they can go look at it, and it shows them a pie chart of how many red, yellows, and greens and gold they have and how they are against their timelines and that kind of stuff, and lots of different details if you want to do that. So
what is it called? A red page?
No, it's called
Bmsg, like an analytical thing.
Yeah, that's the whole point of why we use Bmsg, I thought.
Yeah, it's the ability to generate a summary web page. Let me show you an example here of what the Bmsg public page looks like. So this is an example. Remember the little car seat thing we've done? So this is an example of that. So what I'm saying is you can describe it over here. So in this case, we have the service, the goal, the objective, and then we can show the number of each status and how we're doing against our timeline. Or you can go down to the detail level on each activity or objective and show more and more detail down here. So just a simple way to generate a web page to be able to share with whoever, put it on your website, email it out, whatever you need to do, put it on social media, whatever that is.
I like that one. That particular.
We can do a training on this. So I'll walk after you get a couple of the counties in there. We'll do a little training and actually build some of these so you can see how to do it. It's a 5-minute job to build these web pages using Bmsg Public.
Okay. And do they automatically populate?
Yep, they populate out of the data that you put in the system on all the updates and everything.
Okay. How much time would you need for this quick tutorial for the jurisdictions?
Maybe on showing them how to look at this stuff. Maybe a half hour.
Okay. Because we already meet on a monthly basis, like the third Monday of the month from 12 noon to 1 Eastern Standard Time. So I think it would be easier since that time is already allocated to discussing and getting updates. But let me follow up with you to see when will be best for us to schedule a time for you to meet with the jurisdictions.
That'd be awesome if you got into a regular meeting where we got everybody together, at least virtually. We'll do a quick training and show them what they're having, and then show them how to, after we get their user ID set up, we'll show them how to get their user ID and password and log in and let them go in and play.
Okay.
We'll make them all read only so that they can only go and look at everything.
Yes, more likely it'll be either in June or July, but I'll follow up with you to make sure to clarify.
Yeah.
Latest will be
make
August.
the time available.
Okay. Let me go back to VMSG. Okay, so let me see if I had any questions. So I know we need to really make sure VMSG aligns with the progress reports. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go into this, allocate time to go into this ourselves. But thank you so much for starting us off. Now, when any changes that Reggie and I make, do we have to? I remember you saying, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. We just need to renumber and.
Okay, we need to get Reggie set up in here. He's not a user in the system right now.
Oh, he's not?
No.
Okay, look, what information do you need from for Reggie to get set up?
Why don't we just do it right now? I'll walk you through it. Okay. What would you like usually your username is first name dot last name, but you can make it whatever you want, Reggie. What would you like?
First name dot last name is fine. If I feel some kind of way, I can change it later, can I?
Yeah. Reggie or Reginald, what would you like?
Reginald dot Turner.
Reginald.
Yep, Reginald dot Turner. Turner.
It's Turner, not Hunter.
Yes, sorry.
Turner.
Your title, Reggie.
Say that again. What's that you?
What's your job title?
Your title.
Government operations specialist or consultant, something like that. Sidekick, really.
And your email address, sir?
Reginald.Turner, JR. The JR is just thrown at the end, all lowercase. So Reginald.Turner Jr. at flhealth.gov.
Okay, and your phone number?
The phone number is, let me grab that for you. My office phone.
It can be whatever phone you want. If you want your cell in there, it doesn't matter. Just or people get
850. Are you ready?
850
901 6946.
Okay, and your HIV, and we will put you under the HIV section. And I'm going to give you org admin privileges right now so you can do everything as we're doing it. And I got you reporting to Sandy, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so I just added you, and okay, and let me make sure your group links are all set properly. Yep, you got full access, and make sure Sandy's set up properly here.
Does Brandy also have full access? Because just for when
Let me check for you here real quick.
Okay.
And I'm going to make you both org admins. And Brandy, yeah, Brandy is an org admin, so yeah, she's got full access to everything. Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
All three of you have full. Now, Reggie, to get your user ID and password to log in, go to, are you ready to write this down?
Yep, give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, login, LOGIN, dot VMSG-board.com.
Bmsg dashboard?
.com, right?
.com. All right, I got it there.
Okay, when you go, and you should use Google Chrome or Firefox. Don't use the regular Microsoft browser, except maybe the new one, Microsoft Edge Chromium, they call it.
I'm using the Microsoft Edge. Let me go back to Chrome. Yeah. Okay, I'll do. Okay.
Chrome or Edge Chromium is the latest one, which is based on Google Chrome. So that's a good browser too.
Okay. It's easy for me because it saves my password, so I don't have to remember it.
Yeah, what'll happen is when you go into that link, it'll give you a login screen. There's a send button on there. Hit send, and it'll ask you for your email address. You put that in and hit send again. It'll come back and say, hey, we found you, and it sent you an email, and the email will have your login credentials and your password. As soon as you log in, you can go into the main menu and change your password to something, because it'll be some crazy cryptic password that you don't want to have.
Okay, that's pretty standard. That's easily done.
Yep. Yeah, we try to make it somewhat standard here. And then you've got full access to everything in there. Again, you know, if it's me, the next thing I'm going to do is finish up the Broward County. And if you have any questions along the way, pick up the phone and call me. And then go to the other counties. They're going to be basically duplicates, but I look at them and they're different plans. So I was going to think
they are.
We can
no county is the same.
Yeah, right. I thought we could maybe copy, you know, one plan all the way down, but they're significantly different, so we couldn't. So it's just going to be
right.
a
That's why I didn't want to confuse you all and wait until everything was finalized, because you would have been. I mean, at least I was, because we were waiting on everything to be finalized before providing it to you all.
Great.
So the objective statement is. I'm just looking through Broward to make sure I'm following everything you just said. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So objective statement is really the strategies.
It's the combination of what they're calling the objective and the strategy, because the strategy is the differentiator between them.
Correct. Equal strategy. And then. So where you put higher staff, so this is what I'm looking for. When you click on the activity statement for Broward, okay, A. So 1A, where is that in the sheet?
Okay, let me show you how I got that. It's a little different, but what I tried to do is reword the activity. So
okay, is that what you did?
Yeah. I said, because we're looking at number of staff hired, I said, okay, hire staff to expand detailing regarding routine HIV testing, because what you're looking for is how many staff did you hire?
Okay, correct. Okay. Now, is that what you suggest? Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I need to make sure they all align.
Say what? I'm sorry?
No, I just need to make sure they all align. So you're suggesting that they're reworded to match the objective statement?
The process indicator. They have to, when you have an activity, it's a statement of what you're going to do. And the process indicator, what we call performance metric, is how do I know when I've successfully done that? So what you're measuring is how many staff did you hire in that first one. On the second one, you're measuring how many PCPs did I reach. The third one, you're measuring how many PCPs implemented new HIV testing. So that's why I put it in that way.
Okay. Now, the reason why I'm asking is because our statewide plan, CDC plan was submitted to the CDC. The way it was approved by HIV section leadership, but also to the CDC, that's how it is written. That's how it will be, I guess, read. So any changes after right now, like this is a change that we're making, that's not officially part of the plan.
Okay.
So we would have to make those adjustments on the once, because we make updates to the plan once a year, since we're within the year. So these changes will not be made until next year. So I'm just making notes.
Okay. Yeah, what you can do is go back and you're going to capture those in Bmsg, and if you want to keep it in the spreadsheet format, you can go back and put that information, because it's separated by process indicator.
Okay. No, that's what we will have to do now. I just need to make sure the way it's written, like activity statement 1A, is also written like that in the progress report on the Excel.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Ideally, what you'd want to do then is break those 3 activities out into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 activities like we did in Bmsg, because they are separate activities if you look at the process indicator.
Okay, no, are they not read like that in the Excel? Because that's how I read them.
Well, in Excel, we have 1 activity and 3 process indicators for 1 activity, which you can't measure 1 activity 3 ways.
Okay. That was a feedback previously. That's why it was written this way. So you're suggesting that we have the individual activities written out, but according to the strategy.
In BMST is exactly that. Remember, we did the activity 1, we broke it down into 1A, B, and C, because we're measuring the 3 different things on there, like number of PCPs reached, number of PCPs implementing routine HIV.
Okay. I mean, we can't necessarily change the structure because that's the structure that the CDC provided. Like it's their format. But I just made, because their format was provided to us in Word, I just put in Excel format. But I'll just make sure it aligns.
Okay.
For Reggie and I to input the data.
Yeah, it would be very difficult to update the information if you had it just at the activity level you're updating. But realistically, what you have in the spreadsheet is 7 activities, because these are really the activities down here.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of a statement around them, but you really have it broken down to 7. So it really is the same thing. We just kind of combined the verbiage so it made sense when somebody's reading it as to what you're measuring.
Correct. Okay. No, I just need to make sure it aligns, because we gave each of the counties, not independence, but it's their plan for their respective counties. So
right.
I'd also have to let them know that these changes were made to accommodate the structure of like the system, however I'm going to word it. But I'll just have to let them know.
Yeah, I would indicate that it's because we're trying to measure. We got in the first activity we're trying to measure 3 different things. And it doesn't make sense to put all that in one activity, because it would be confused as to, is this the number of staff hired, or is this the number of PCPs reached, or is this the number of PCPs implementing testing? What number did you put in there? So that's why we broke it down into the 3.
Okay, so now I understand. So we hire staff, and then, so say if, going back to the activity selection and management. So say if I want to, Broward tells me, so Broward's anticipated goal is to hire 3.5. And then their actual is 2.5. So you put the actual as 5. How can I update the actual from 3.5, from 5 to 3.5? And then how can I make the actual to date 2.5?
So you have a target number. What I didn't have, so I'll show you how to do that. It's a quantitative measurement activity. The wizard here. I put a target of 0.
Wait, what did you click? What did you click
the
on?
Wizard. The little wizard right
Oh, with
here?
the wizard. No, you're right. You didn't receive any of the templates with information because we received all the templates like last week with the first progress report.
3.5.
But to get things going, I sent you the blank templates. So I clicked on the wizard.
3.5, hang on. 3.5 staff hired is the target, right?
Mhm.
So let's change that. So now the performance metric was 3.5 staff hired between 112, blah, blah, and you said actually it was 2.5?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're there. So it says we're 71% done with this particular activity.
Well, where did you put 2.5? Sorry, I didn't. I was looking at my screen to see if the change will.
Oh, sorry, right here, down at the add to.
Oh, to add to? Okay. So add to, that's when Reggie and I will update on a monthly basis, and the actual we do that through the wizard.
If you're changing the target, it goes into the wizard, right?
Okay.
So that's the target number, and then what are you measuring? In this case. Now you also have two options down here. I put the add to because I'm thinking they're going to be hiring over time. So you're going to add a half a staff here. Say put in a 0.5, it'll add to that. But you can also say just give me the whole total value. So you can just say, I'm going to put in 2.5, and next time I change it, it'll be to the new number, not adding to it. So that's up to you, and you can change it anytime right in the wizard here.
Now, as we make these updates, will the previous change, like the change from last month, will it be deleted or written over?
Nope. No, it's right here in history.
Okay.
Hang on. Save. No dupe. Yeah, so everything in history, these are just, the changes that I made as I was putting it in here, but they're all saved up in here.
Okay. Okay.
And we're actually working on a new report that will allow you to say, I want to see the entire history for all of these activities, or for a specific activity, you'll be able to see the history in a report format. So we're working on that now.
Okay.
What else?
I'm thinking, I'm good with questions, but all I can keep thinking about is I really need to get on this thing.
Now, is it going to be just you and Reggie entering the data?
Yes. So it'll just be us entering the data.
Okay. So what I would do then is go in and put in, so for this first one that we just had in there, let me go back. So for hiring staff, who is that, you or Reggie? Or either?
What do you mean hire? Like, it'll be who's in the lead for Broward?
Yeah, who's going to update it? Who's it going to be?
Reggie.
Reggie, okay. So I'm going to put
here working on Broward.
Reggie is working on Broward, Pinellas,
Palm Beach.
The other one? And Palm Beach.
Okay.
Palm Beach, Broward, and Pinellas.
Okay, so as you're going in, and once you get the activities entered, you're going to go down into here, hit this little guy, and click the little red X so it opens to everybody. And then you're going to say, Reggie's the lead and the email notification. Sandy, if you want to be email notification as well, you can check that so you both get an email to update it.
Yes, I can. I think that'll be helpful because in case either one of us is not in the office, we'll be in the know with, okay, this happened. That was my lesson learned from last week.
And making sure everyone's in the same loop of communication. So even if it's not her responsibility, I would like it if she just knew what was going on and vice versa.
Right.
There you go. So now what's going to happen is at some point in time, whenever you set up these notifications to go out, probably monthly, you're going to say, you're going to get an email from the system saying, log in and update these. You can use what we call the quick update system to do that. And it'll just walk you through it one at a time. And you're just going to go in and update, save, and you're done.
Okay. Now, we're not expecting to receive the reports from the jurisdictions until like the 3rd or 4th week of the month.
That's fine.
So the updates will be in the beginning of the next month. So that works.
Okay. So we'll say, let me set that up for you here. Settings, notifications. So we're going to say at this point in time, you want to do week 1 of the month. And
Reggie, what do you think? Reggie, you're muted.
My bad. I was working on it. I like the idea. I like the notifications coming to both of us. So if there's ever, like you said, a situation where something's happening in your county, we're both aware of it. We both can put two heads on it. But I also like the counties being able to see their particular county. So if I have a question for them, they can go look and see what I'm seeing. And if there's a discrepancy, we can talk about it. But we would be the one.
Right, and that's what I had to do last week. But what Fred is alluding to, he's asking when do we want a reminder to input the data? Because we already were expected to receive the information or the reports from the counties on, hypothetically, the third. Is it the fourth? It's the fourth month, the fourth week. It's the fourth week.
So the first week is for the notification.
Okay, so we would want notifications to input on the fourth week, or let's do the fourth week. Let's do Friday. I'll do Friday.
There you go. So you are now set up on the fourth week of the month on Friday. You guys will both get email notifications for the one we set up. You'll have to set all those up as you're entering the activities. Just go in and say, one of the two of you is the lead, and then the other one is a team member and email notification, and that'll take care of it.
Fred, now is there like a delay? Because what if I decide, okay, I get the alert on Friday, but what if I really work on it that following Monday?
That's fine, no problem. You'll have that email notification. You just click on the link whenever you're ready to do it. It doesn't matter when.
Yeah, I figured it would just be ready to click it.
Right. Okay.
And you can keep going back into it all you want. It's not, it doesn't give you one chance and then you're out. You just go do it whenever you want to do it. If you get half of them done, get distracted, you go back in and do the other half.
Okay. So would you like the emails of each of the county's representatives before you have the training with them or afterwards?
We should probably put them in before. So you're going to set up, however many people you have, and I'll send you the spreadsheet to enter the information that we need to put them in. And it just takes a minute to put them in there. And then we can, during the training, we can say, here's how you go in and get your user ID and password and log in.
Okay.
I have a question about that.
I think Reggie has a question, Fred.
So when we do that, when we set up the other counties, would you recommend that we set up a profile for every specific person who's on the project in a particular county? Or do you think it would be better to have like a generic profile per county? So it'll be like Broward 1, a password Broward 1, and everyone from Broward can just jump in if they need to. Or do you think it'd be better to have like Josh from Broward, Rebecca from Broward, Marty from Broward, and then go down the line that way?
Yeah, you really want to have individual logins for historical tracking and that sort of thing. They can all have the same access and the same view, but you want to know who's logging in and what they're doing and when and that sort of thing, I think.
Okay.
Right, and then we want to make sure the correct representative for that county is accessing that information. Yes, I think that's, Fred, you also confirmed it too.
Yeah, you can generate a report that shows, or look at the dashboard, it'll show who logged in when, and the whole 9 yards.
Okay, I like it.
So Fred, you said you're going to finish up Broward, but we can input all the information for the rest of the counties, correct? Because Broward basically is our template.
I was going to let you guys take what I've done with Broward and just use that as a model to finish Broward, because I think that's the easiest way. So if you guys do that, it will give you here's what Fred did. I'm going to duplicate that with the rest of the services in there.
Yes, and then I'll trust me, I'll probably have plenty of questions for you when I start doing it myself. Okay.
I love when you call.
Yes. Let me think. Okay. So can you ask, what's the level after the activity? Because that's already the performance. So is there another level? Because I don't see any arrow at the end.
No, activity is the bottom level.
Okay. And then when we
want to see... Now, there was originally, we had talked about having tasks on activities, but the problem is that tasks are things that are done multiple times a day, for instance, and nobody would have seen them. So it just didn't make sense to have that level.
Okay. There is another question I had. Well, this might have to be done internally. Actually, no, you're fine. That's something separate. So if we want to see everything, like the progress, because I know at the end the percentages is at the far right. We just have to click on the signal light at the top.
Oh, yeah, to get the dashboard. Yep, absolutely.
Yes. And then we have to manually decide if it's green, yellow, or gold.
Yes. Well, if you go to 100% on any activity, it'll automatically turn to gold, meaning it's completed. But for the most part, it's a manual setting. Yeah. And here's what I use. Green just means everything's moving along as scheduled. It doesn't mean, if you're doing a monthly update and you get to the end of the month, it doesn't mean it's anything but green because you're expecting to get the update. Now, if you get a month and a half into it and they haven't provided the update, then you might want to put a yellow in there saying, COVID got in the way of getting the update for Broward County or whatever that is. And then red.
Where do we put comments? Oh, never mind.
Right down
right on the bottom.
Right. Yep. And yes, that's a great comment. What you want to do is anytime you change a traffic light, put a note in as to why. So when you're looking at it, you don't have to call Reggie and say, hey, I changed this. Reggie will look at that and say, hey, I see why you made that change.
Okay. Because I also plan on including the comments from the counties because they have also been including why they have been delayed.
Yep. Now you guys are going to be input, and I hope at some point in time it works out that we'll get the county's view access to start with, and you might get some of them that says, hey, I can do that for you, and give them then edit access so they can actually go in and put the notes in and put the status in and that kind of stuff. But that's future. We can look at that when it comes down.
Oh yeah, that's something to consider for year 2.
Yeah.
At the moment, I do not have any more questions. Reggie, do you have anything else? Or Andrea, do you have anything to add?
I feel pretty good about it. I'm going to check in later on Bmsg and just play around and see what I can see. And if I have any questions, I'll shoot you an email for it.
Please do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you guys the spreadsheet for the users to add. It doesn't have to be done, anytime soon until you get all the plans in. It doesn't make sense to do it. But then you guys schedule at your monthly Monday meeting, schedule us in at some point in time for half an hour, 45 minutes, and we'll walk through and give them the quick overview of the system, and then say, here's what you guys are going to be able to see, and show them a real example maybe of some of the counties when we get them in there and say, here's what you guys will be able to see. You'll go in here and have the dashboard, have the reports and all that kind of stuff. That should be pretty exciting.
And I think July will be good because by then multiple reports will have been included on Bmsg. Yep.
That's perfect. That's awesome.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fred. Like always, you came through.
Okay. If you need anything, you know where to find me. My phone number is my cell. I only work on my cell, so you can text me, email me, call me, whatever you need. If you need help, just don't hesitate to pick up the phone.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Andrea. You as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Reggie.
Bye, Sandy. Have a good day, everybody.
You too.